Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power beyond your thoughts, not outside events. Recognize this and you'll gain resilience." Do you understand how frustrating it may be to a mind cluttered with noise, the agony of indecision or paralysis by analysis that results from overthinking, as we've all been there, listening to the conversations again, predicting results and attempting to answer a never-ending series of what ifs in our heads. Today we will tackle this. Consider tackling the challenge with these 10 sensible stoic strategies to conquer overthinking. If you're looking for ways to end this pattern and take back your mental room, be sure to hit the notification bell and subscribe now. Let's dive. 1. Visualize your overthinking as a separate force, not part of you. Overthinking might occur unexpectedly, as if mist were descending onto what was once a clear day. It begins with just one concern or notion, but it swiftly grows until it can take you off your feet. It's typical to struggle in the fast-paced world of today, where knowledge strikes like hail in a storm that fills our heads to capacity. Ideas about what might happen next or what if could have been Marcus Aurelius the Stoic philosopher king once said that happiness of your life is determined by the caliber of your thoughts, which lead us to our first technique regards overthinking as an outside factor. This has nothing to do with creating an adversary in your mind, but understanding that these thoughts are not the core of who you are. They are invaders of your peace. Imagine those invading thoughts like clouds moving overhead. You are that mountain, majestic and unwavering, steadfast as the clouds are currently drifting by. How does one go about withstand these invaders? By learning Stoicism. Imagine us watching passively, putting these thoughts inside a bubble and observing them vanish mentally. Exercise not only reduces their weight, it strengthens the comprehension. While thoughts are fleeting, they can only disturb you if you refuse to let go to them and provide them with strength. Using this mental image generates a beneficial mental reaction. You separate and release these thoughts before them intensifying into a storm as you improve your ability to set yourself apart from this onslaught of overthinking. It gets easier to realize that you're not just a compilation of your thoughts. This so similar to a shield distinction. It's a raucous crowd, so very earplugs, intentional, ongoing work that increases so stronger every day. Application: as soon as you become aware of oneself, so starting to overthink, pause and visualize the idea that superfluous noise. This is a step away from who you are. You're defending more than just yourself. To take charge by focusing your energy on something else. Have you ever imagined yourself descending a rabbit hole, gaping uncertainty and apocalyptic scenario? Why? Repeating the same concerns repeatedly. It's over once you're mentally spent. So similar to having several open browser tabs, each with a video playing in your imagination with maximum intensity, and you're unable to hit. To stop trying to multitask mentally. A symbol of contemporary life where the need to remain in control of everything can result in an unending cycle of overthinking. But similar to a jumbled workstation, a cluttered mind requires organization. Redirecting your thoughts isn't the same as. It's all about mental tranquility, regaining command and calming the continuous noise of what might occur, so you can recognize another Seneca. The sage skillfully incorporated wisdom into so saying that the only way to be happy truly is to enjoy the moment without worrying. Reliance on this sage's future counsel acts as the foundation for assuming charge by concentrating your energy. To start by grounding yourself to quit overthinking. Concentrate on a task at hand right now, even for something little, and direct your energy into finishing it. This change in emphasis rescues you from the storm of the future whiffs and keeps you rooted in the here and now. At this time, the real world implementation is basic but meaningful participation in an activity that needs all of your attention. It might be as easy as arranging your work area, making a strolling quickly, or immersing yourself in a book. These deeds demand the present moment, not the perhaps yesterday or tomorrow. Commanding your behaviors to be in line with your thoughts. You're not merely diverting your attention, you are assuming control over where you recall that energy flows. Stoicism isn't concerning repressing ideas, it concerns controlling them by deciding where to put in the mental work that you're putting mental discipline into practice. Avoiding overthinking is not the aim. That is completely unrealistic. Anticipation, the objective is to identify when your ideas aren't helpful to you, and having the means to reroute them is similar to exercising a muscle. The more utilize this ability to refocus, the stronger and more resilient your mind becomes. You'll find that the once overwhelming tide of overthinking can be tamed wave by wave with deliberate action and presence. 3. Accept that nothing lasts forever and learn to let go. It's a fact that our minds get stuck a lot, repeating past occurrences in a loop or worrying about what is ahead. This is the playground for overthinking where thoughts are clingy and stay for a longer time, rather than accept it as a challenge that has no discrimination and impacts students. Concerned about testing experts, worried about anyone or presentations, attempting to sleep as their thoughts. Amid this, sprints at 100 meters per hour, we can take comfort in the mental marathon. Epictetus' words tell us who fears death will never do anything worth of a man who is now living, yet this. The phrase may seem a little weighty, but it's actually regarding the idea of transience, which is the foundation of Stoicism. Everything is subject to change, including the thoughts that appear to be so enduring in our overanalyzing causes us to frequently cling to our minds as though they were eternal, things that we embrace in our lives. Realizing impermanence entails realizing thoughts flow through them, they are not. This insight, which is eternal, may serve as a beacon for hopefully once you're ensnared by overthinking and almost embracing. To be impermanent is to become a habit of letting go. It's a psychological process, clearing up spaces where you consciously let the unhelpful thoughts go. To accomplish this, you could picture every thought is a leaf on this river, the surface of the water eroding, or perhaps you perceive them as clouds, constantly evolving, altering, and ultimately advancing. This visualization, in addition to offers prompt comfort as well as fosters a greater comprehension of the very essence of thought is change making. Make this a daily routine for yourself. Regularity might improve your connection. It has nothing to do with your ideas. You're not driving them away, but rather permitting for them to depart. Giving up is not letting go. It's a courageous act indicating that you choose not to let repetitive thoughts take up room in your mind for nothing. As you improve at this, you'll see a fresh mental room, a silence that was there at all times, merely concealed beneath the cacophony of overthinking. And accepting transience is a shift rather than just a method toward a more tranquil and mindful manner of existence. Or set a specific time to worry. It is a typical human experience. Anxiety is persistently bothering us, enduring as the buzz of refrigeration is sometimes constantly present, hardly perceptible, but definitely. These concerns might take control of chat or ideas at any time, frequently while we're attempting to focus on our tasks, revel in the company of friends, or even while we're attempting to sleep, but our minds lose a phase, and these worries are uninvited performers who refuse to leave. Think about this Stoic teacher, Epictetus, if you'd like to. When hands accept being looked upon as foolish, this quote might not seem relevant. However, it's a strong lesson to set priorities. Our tranquility of mind versus giving up to concern that they'll come out as smug or carelessly inciting a moment of concern is a calculated approach to addressing these issues. Their appearance on stage, but only not the primary performer scheduled during the encore, or set out a set time each day, perhaps 20. The afternoon, in the minutes that you're able to fully address these concerns, paying attention during this allotted period, you plunge into your concerns, closely examining them being aware of their origins and perhaps even making a note of what they are truly concerned about the likelihood of. In these situations, what actions can you take? This concentrated period frequently exposes because a lot of our concerns are similar to the shadows that don't seem very big, to substance when you confront them directly. Additionally, this procedure trains your mind that worrying has its place and time, and it doesn't last all day every day before. After the anxious moment passes, you move on. You've given your concerns their proper space, and you've now set them aside by dividing yourself in this way. You may take back command of your day. The aim isn't to entirely give up worrying. That's not feasible. However, by keeping your concerns, you lessen their influence on your. This method of living is similar to cleaning your, making mental space and placing thoughts where they, as well as taking in the piece of the arranged area. You'll probably discover that concerns become less powerful when they're not permitted to travel freely and life gets slightly brighter and more gratifying. 5. Turn large, overwhelming thoughts into small, manageable tasks. When overthinking occurs, it can feel we are bearing the burden of a massive boulder. The extent of our concerns appears to equal the weight of the entire planet, and we are engulfed in a dense fog of our own thoughts. This feeling is not distinctive to us as a common human, a situation made worse in a world where demands excellence in every aspect of connections in life, at work, and in personal development, as well as social. The status, the need to perform well can freeze us in uncertainty and terror as a light to guide us through this mist of. Once Marcus Aurelius overanalyzed, provided the obstacle to taking action, enhances action by removing obstacles, as how this profound insight serves as the foundation for our fifth method, converting overpowering thoughts into practical actions to take while you're racing while carrying a heavy or complex concern. The secret is to divide the issue into more manageable, smaller chunks. You want the absolute next action I can take. Not all 5, 10, or 20 steps down the line, but only the following actor is acting on. One tiny step might not seem like much, but it's an effective remedy for overanalyzing. By concentrating on a single task, you reroute energy from fretting to really accomplishing it, like struggling to untangle a massive knot. One tiny knot at a time, you're not minimizing the intricacy of your worries that you're working through with intent, purpose, and accuracy. The elegance of this method lies in its effectiveness and simplicity in each small. Each action you take increases momentum, and when you reflect, you see that boulder of your stress has turned into a mound of pebbles. One step at a time overlaid, this approach fosters perseverance, fortitude, and have faith in one's capacity to face, confronts obstacles head on abruptly. What once appear unbeatable is behind you, and your excessive contemplation gives way to a feeling of achievement and lucidity. The 6. Change your view by focusing on what you're thankful for. Our thoughts are not always clear cut, often draw us into a labyrinth of overanalyzing what we don't have, might not work out, or what we haven't. Accomplishing this is a never ending cycle that can exhaust us and leave us feeling. Excessive overanalyzing frequently results from a concentration on the drawbacks or the future. Life's hardships often eclipse the positive. That's already the case, as Seneca mentioned. To truly be happy, one must embrace the moment without becoming overly reliant on the. This pearl of Stoic wisdom will prove to be a plea to change our mindset from one of lack to plenty, from overanalyzing to thankfulness. Is about realizing the importance of the here and now and the numerous benefits that we frequently overlook while we're preoccupied with concerns about the future. The gratitude practice helps us escape the mental ruts and plants us securely on the fertile ground of the present. To begin this transformation, recognize 3 things that are truly happening in life, things for which you are thankful every day. don't have to be magnificent, they only have to. To be honest, it can be as easy as a scrumptious cup of coffee, cozy in your preferred sweatshirt, or a note from a buddy. This easy exercise can change your perspective, escaping the vicious loop of overanalyzing and in the direction of gratitude for what was in your life at this moment. By anchoring with thankfulness, you're not just reducing the chatter of overanalyzing but additionally enhancing your everyday. Feeling thankful enhances the beneficial in our lives. With time, this novel viewpoint can alter your perspective on life's obstacles, transforming them into chances to further acknowledge the positive aspects of your globe. This goes beyond sentiment. Rather, right now, it's about constructing a base of satisfaction that can keep you going through the unavoidable highs, the setbacks that life may bring. To 7. Concentrate on your effort, not the result. Overthinking is frequently the outcome of our minds dancing future events and what if scenarios, with its endless potential for failure as well as disappointed with this depiction of the fear of the future might immobilize us as we be fixated on the possible outcomes rather than the acts themselves of our actions. Ourselves, we reside in a result driven, a society where the conclusion is often justified, the methods. And this leads us to assume that if the route is not definite, but the result is worthwhile to pursue. Yet a Stoic quotation by Epictetus gives us a concise, don't elaborate on your philosophy, embody it. Stoicism trains our attention on our actions and goals as opposed to then the results over which we have no influence. Doesn't mean we shouldn't have objectives or aim to accomplish amazing things, but it doesn't mean that's where the true value is. In the caliber of our work, the honesty with which we conduct ourselves, and the virtue which we use to guide us on our application route. This method, whenever you come across, you are obsessing over the possible outcomes of your work. Actively shift your attention to the actual work of asking oneself, are you putting out your best effort and acting morally? Are you adhering to your intention? Principles. This strategy focuses on being utterly absorbed in the work being done, work and understanding. That's where your this emphasis on effort is terminated by responsibility can free us from the restraints of overthinking things, enables us to stay in the a chance to provide our all without the a thick shade that can be getting darker. Our acts are transformed by our experiences from simple stages leading to a result into manifestations of our personalities and dedication. With this change in emphasis, discover that your journey is more than a way to a conclusion but a representation of life with intention where every action is an achievement in. The latter three tactics are available on their own, the gateway to new insights, enabling you to access untapped strengths, encourage resilience in practice, and manage the challenges of life with a feeling of equilibrium. Not practice going through discomfort on purpose. Our minds have a tendency to spiral into overthinking when confronted with the possibility of discomfort or change. We replay scenarios endlessly, trying to foresee every outcome and preparing ourselves for every conceivable hardship. This mental rehearsal often becomes exhausting as we attempt to create a sense of control over situations that are inherently unpredictable. In doing so, we imprison ourselves within the confines of our comfort zones, which, though seemingly safe, stifle growth and progress. Overthinking becomes the warden of this mental prison, locking us away from the very experiences that could lead to personal evolution. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once remarked, the art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. This powerful metaphor reflects the Stoic belief that life is full of challenges that require us to engage directly with strength and agility rather than gracefully avoiding difficulties. Wrestling demands confrontation, not avoidance. Similarly, life demands resilience and adaptability. Avoiding discomfort only heightens our anxiety and deepens the cycle of overthinking. However, by practicing voluntary discomfort, We can train our minds to face uncertainty with courage and reduce the mental turmoil that comes from overanalysis. Voluntary discomfort is the practice of deliberately stepping into small, controlled challenges that push us out of our comfort zones. These are not grand acts of suffering but simple, intentional disruptions to our everyday routines. The purpose is to teach ourselves that discomfort is not as overwhelming or terrifying as our minds often make it out to be. It is a form of mental conditioning that helps us develop a stronger tolerance for uncertainty and hardship. To incorporate voluntary discomfort into modern life, start with something manageable. Take a cold shower instead of a warm one. Sleep without a pillow for a night. Walk to a destination instead of driving. These actions, though minor, are significant in their ability to break the routine and bring discomfort to the forefront of your experience. When engaging in these small challenges, allow yourself to fully experience whatever feelings of discomfort arise without judgment or resistance. Observe the sensations, whether they are physical, like the chill of cold water, or mental, such as the agitation that comes from breaking a routine. Simply sit with those feelings and recognize that they are temporary. This practice is not about punishment or self denial, nor is it about making life unnecessarily hard. Rather, it is about demonstrating to yourself that discomfort is a natural and manageable part of life. By confronting discomfort in controlled doses, you build mental resilience that reduces the hold overthinking has on your mind. The discomfort that once seemed overwhelming becomes familiar, and your reaction to life's challenges becomes less intense and more measured. The paradox of voluntary discomfort is that over time it increases your overall comfort with the various aspects of life. By routinely stepping into situations that are uncomfortable, the unfamiliar becomes familiar and your mind learns to quiet its reflexive resistance to change. The overthinking that often accompanies uncertainty begins to fade, replaced by a calm acceptance of what is beyond your control and a focus on what you can control: your reactions, your mindset, and your perseverance. This practice cultivates an inner strength that is less susceptible to the fluctuations of external circumstances. Life will always be filled with unexpected challenges, discomforts, and changes, but by preparing yourself through small acts of voluntary discomfort, you create a mental foundation that is unshakable. Rather than fearing discomfort, you learn to embrace it as a natural part of existence. This shift in perspective not only helps to reduce overthinking but also fosters a deeper sense of confidence in your ability to handle whatever life throws your way. By willingly stepping outside of your comfort zone, you demonstrate to yourself that you are capable of facing challenges with grace and resilience. You prove that discomfort is not a barrier but an opportunity for growth. 9. Think about how life is always changing. When we find ourselves trapped in the relentless storm of overthinking, it often stems from an unhealthy focus on the minutiae of our lives. We become so consumed by the tiny, intricate details that we lose sight of the broader picture. As our minds spiral deeper into the what ifs, what if this happens, what if that doesn't go as planned, we drift further from reality. This constant cycle of overanalysis can cloud our judgment, causing even the smallest of problems to seem colossal, devouring our mental energy and space. The Roman philosopher Seneca once wisely observed, "We are not given a short life, but we make it short, and we are not ill supplied, but wasteful of it." This profound statement serves as a powerful reminder of the fleeting nature of our existence. Time is not something we lack, rather, we squander it, especially when trapped in patterns of overthinking. Every moment consumed by needless worry is a moment not lived fully, a slice of life not appreciated, a breath wasted in contemplation of things beyond our control. Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in practicality and mindfulness, urges us to ask ourselves whether the things we are agonizing over will hold any significance in the grand scheme of our lives. Will these current worries or anxieties matter in a week, a month, or even a year? When we lose perspective, we allow trivial concerns to take over, making them seem more important than they truly are. Overthinking pulls us away from the present, but stepping back to observe our lives from a distance helps restore clarity. To combat overthinking, we must learn to zoom out and look at our lives in their entirety. When we step back and assess the big picture, it becomes clear that many of the things we obsess over are fleeting. They are transient, momentary distractions that will likely fade away, leaving little to no impact on our lives. In the grand timeline of your life, will these concerns still matter? If not, why are they consuming so much of your time and energy now? When you find yourself overwhelmed by your thoughts, pause, take a breath. Ask yourself if this moment of anxiety, this episode of overthinking, is worth the limited time you have. Life is brief and our time is precious. Every second spent fretting over uncertainties is a second not spent truly living. It is vital to recognize that while our thoughts can feel overwhelming, they are often not as significant as they seem. By focusing on the transient nature of life, we begin to naturally prioritize what truly matters. This contemplation of life's impermanence should not lead to feelings of sadness or detachment, but rather to an increased sense of gratitude and mindfulness. Stoicism doesn't teach us to become indifferent or apathetic. Instead, it encourages us to cherish the present moment and direct our focus to the things that genuinely deserve our attention. In this way, acknowledging life's fleeting nature becomes a powerful antidote to overthinking. It reorients our attention toward the present, enriching our appreciation of the here and now and lessening the weight of anxieties about the future. Let the transient nature of life not be a source of fear or worry, but a reminder to live vibrantly. Life is a canvas, and every moment offers an opportunity to paint with the vivid colors of presence and engaged living. By grounding ourselves in the present, we reduce the tendency to overthink, creating a life that is more meaningful and fulfilling. Overthinking may dull the colors of our existence, but living in the moment brings them back into full, brilliant focus. Look for wisdom and advice from others, so sometimes our minds can seem like a maze where every corner leads to further perplexity and overthinking. Attempt to solve a mystery and discover that the fragments continue to grow apart from us. Sentiment stuck. This is the issue with, in summary, overthinking a pattern that begins and concludes inside the boundaries of our thoughts frequently lack a concrete. Departing Sina, a man was praised for his wisdom advice, speaking with a friend about everything, particularly with those issues regarding yourself. His advice may then be beneficial when your self love damage your judgment with these easy phrases. Capture a deep reality that can aid in navigating the choppy waters of overthinking. Stoicism informs us of this. Looking outside of yourself for insight can end the ruminating cycle. Might be the new insight of a friend, the unbiased counsel of a mentor, is the ageless knowledge contained in books to use in a contemporary context. Seek out individuals whose viewpoints you regard and believe it might be. To someone in your social group or a expert has the background necessary to assist you in sharing your ideas with. They can assist in two ways since it offers precision as you express what's in your mentality and makes room for objective comments that you might have overlooked while overthinking. This method results in more. Rather than provide workable solutions, it serves as a reminder that human connection is priceless when we share our responsibilities. They frequently get lighter. This isn't a feeble shortcoming, but an understanding of the social group's collective strength. Creatures, let other people's wisdom be the illumination that leads you from the shadows of overthinking every discussion. You'll notice that the puzzle gets simpler to address rather than because the issues are any less intricate, however, due to the fact that you no longer attempting to resolve them alone. Which of these techniques spoke to? You shared your thoughts with us in the remarks about today's wisdom are only the stepping stones on our common journey to intellectual growth. If you value the pursuit of wisdom, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Together we persist on this path constantly, seeking the wisdom of the Stoic masters who have set before us.